Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me. I want to talk about something here that's lightweight hurtful to me. I found out in this article I'm going to read to you guys, it's very informative, that of the 50 wards in the city of Chicago, a significant number of them voted heavily for Donald Trump, helping to put him in the position he's in now. And you may be asking, well, why is that? That should be good news for you, right? But the problem is that there are certain groups of people that are left out of these wards that this article doesn't mention that concerns me. And you know what I'm talking about, okay? So we're going to get right into this article, and I'm going to give you guys my views on this because it really, really concerns me. It really, really concerns me. But let's get right into this. Yeah, it's good and then it's bad. But at any rate, the article says one of the deep blue Chicago's 50 wards voted heavily for President-elect Donald Trump in 2024, but the area was not the only pocket of voters to favor the Republican nominee for president on election day. According to a look at the voting data assembled by Chicagoan Frank Calabrese, the 41st ward in Chicago's Upper West Side was truly MAGA country after a majority pulled the lever for a Republican presidential candidate for the first time since 1992. Sounds cool, but we're going to find out exactly who these people are. Interestingly, it turns out the 41st ward is one of the most popular parts of the city for Chicago police officers to live. So, of course, they're going to vote for him. Anyway, but the 41st ward was not Chicago's only neighborhood to turn red. So when I read that part, I'm like, okay, maybe there's more to it. Also heavily favoring the president-elect was the 43rd ward, the 38th, and half each of the 11th, 12th, 19th, and 50th wards. Trump won the support of... Now, here's the part that I was looking at. I was like, okay, maybe they're going to mention it. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you what I'm talking about at the end of this article. Okay. But just to keep you a little bit in suspense, but even though you know what I'm talking about. Trump won the support of police officers, of course, firefighters, of course, the white working class around the city, of course. And when I say of course, I don't mean because they're white per se, but you'll get what I'm talking about. And Orthodox Jewish voters in the 50th ward, Calabrese noted. Okay, okay, let's go on. Let's go on here. The ex-president also did very well with Asians living in the 11th ward in what is known locally as the Chinatown neighborhood. Once all was said and done, Trump doubled his support in Chicago over what he earned in 2020, going from 12% of Chicago's votes to 22% this year, the data shows. Furthermore, Democrat voters turned out in lower numbers than did Trump's supporters in the Windy City. While Trump's support did rise, Harris voters simply did not turn out on November 5th. And I just want to read this other part here. Let's see here. The steep decline in the Democrat support this year has caused some Illinois Republicans in the failing land of Lincoln to hope that voters are finally starting to get tired of the one-party rule under which they have suffered for more than 20 years. End of article, yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and spill the beans. You already know, but I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans anyway. Where are the black folks at in there? Where are the black people at? Now, why do I say that? Because for the last year or so, we've been hearing a lot of complaints from black residents in Chicago, whatever ward they're in, whatever area they're getting up, protesting in the meetings, in the speeches and so forth before the city council, protesting or making their complaints about the illegals taking all their goods, taking all their, all this money and so forth, due to Mayor Brandon Johnson's horrible policies in reference to these illegals. And blacks have been complaining about it, saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that, woo, 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 when it comes to election time. Yeah, I've heard one lady say, yeah, well, you just wait, you just wait, you just wait. I mean, I was like, okay, maybe blacks in the city, in these certain sections of the city of Chicago, are going to change. And look, I'm not from Chicago. I'm not from Chicago. I'm from Cleveland, and I'm going to talk about Cleveland in a minute, which is a blue city, for lack of a better word. But yeah, it's like, okay, things are going to change here. Perhaps things are going to change. And I'm not saying that blacks in Chicago and these other wards, maybe these inner city wards or low income wards, didn't vote for Trump. But it's like, where are they in the statistics here? Even though one particular poll stated that overall blacks in America voted at a 25% rate for Trump this particular time, which was much higher than it was in 2020 and 2016, that shows great improvement. And in fact, one particular poll was saying that black men voted, men in general, but I think blacks specific, voted for Trump at a 50-something% rate. Wow. Wow. The men got together and were men rather, not became, but were men. The real men got together and said, we want a man in office, okay? A real strong man, not some, whatever. Captain, has no backbone. But anyway, yeah, so looking at those posts, I'm like, looking at those numbers, I'm like, okay, it's kind of encouraging, but it's like, when I read this, in contrast to what I had been reading and talking about for the last year or so in reference to the residents of the city of Chicago and the things that they've been dealing with the illegals and Brandon Johnson's horrible policies in reference to these illegals and so forth, I thought that their numbers would be up there, that you would see something like Ward 10 or Ward 5 or 2 or whatever ward number they have is on there. I didn't see any of that, and that concerns me. Like I said, it doesn't mean that any of the blacks in Chicago, none of the blacks in Chicago voted for him. But it's like, where is it at? It's almost like all that fussing and complaining and rah-rah, roo-roo-rooing, and yet nothing. I was watching, I think it was a video some time ago, right after Trump won the re-election. And it was in reference to the city of Chicago. And it was this huge protest, anti-Trump protest going on. And it was a mixture of different, what I was able to see was a mixture of different groups of people. But you certainly had a lot of black people in there. And it really bothered me because it was like, you guys did all of this fussing and complaining about Brandon Johnson and all these illegals and this and that, causing all kinds of trouble and violence and stuff in your cities. And what do? As if it's in your DNA, you go and vote for Kamala Harris. Because I can't help but wonder if that's exactly what it was about. And what I want to say here is that this really bothers me about black people collectively. Okay, collectively. You may have certain pockets of them that are coming up, and thank God for them. I think that helped to make a difference in terms of Trump getting reelected again. I think that helped. But me personally, I wish blacks would just completely stop voting for these Democrats, period. Because, as I said, I was going to mention about this, my own city here, city of Cleveland. Let me tell you something. When it came time for voting, I had just got through cleaning the church. I usually clean the church on Tuesday. Go up there, clean the church. And there was a school right across the street from my church. And, of course, they had voting and so forth. They had, voting, you can go in there and vote. They had all kinds of signs on the lawn, Harris, Waltz, Harris, Waltz. There was a guy literally in a pickup truck, going around in a pickup truck with a bullhorn, shouting, I'm not making this stuff up, going around in a pickup truck with a bullhorn right on Kinsman Avenue, shouting up and down the street, Trump is the worst president we've ever had. Not giving any statistical facts or anything. All he was doing was saying Trump was the worst president we've ever had. We don't need Trump. I'm not making this, I'm not ad-libbing it. This is literally what this man was saying. And then that was it. He didn't say anything about Harris and Waltz will bring in this, they would do this, they would do this and this. He didn't say anything. All his purpose was to demonize Trump and get everyone to focus on Harris and Waltz. It was the worst thing I'm like, and I'm walking down the street and I wanted to just cuss. I wanted to cuss the man out. I wanted to say, why would you turn that thing off, you stupid idiot, you piece of... I wanted to do that, but I had to repent in my mind. Because it's like, you see, it makes me sick. It makes me sick. I hate this stuff, man. I just hate it. And I hate having to walk around, you know what I mean, on eggshells, not wanting anybody to know that I support Trump or support his policies or whatever. I hate that. I hate that when I go to church, that I sense sometimes my brothers and sisters have the same attitude that some of these people out here have. And sometimes they do. I was in a Sunday school, and the teacher was up. She was teaching and everything. Thank God for her. And I don't say nothing about politics. We're not permitted to say anything about politics in our church because it's very emotional. That's another story, and I digress. I'm going to get into the details of that. But at any rate, I'm sitting in the front pew, and we're talking, and the lesson was on Jonah, the Old Testament prophet Jonah, and how that God had allowed a giant great fish to swallow him up due to his disobedience. He was in the fish's belly for 3 days and 2 nights. Those of you who know the Bible, you know the story. And somehow the subject of the sovereignty and control of God came up. And I don't know who started it. I don't know if it was myself or the teacher. I wasn't thinking politics at all. I keep that out of the way because I'm saying to myself, man, I'm pretty sure that many of these people in here are Democrats, if not all of them, you know. And I'm probably the only conservative here that supported Trump. And it's like, I hate that because we shouldn't allow stuff like this to get in the way of our relationship as brothers and sisters in the Lord. But unfortunately, some people have done that, you know. But anyway. So the subject came up, and the subject of the sovereignty of God and the end of days came up. And, you know, in terms of the rapture and the 7-year tribulation and all this. And the teacher was like, yeah, because look at who we have in office. And I said, oh my head, like, she's like, look at who we have in office. We got it. Lord, please hurry up. And I grinched, right? And I quickly changed the subject. My head kind of went down as I was talking and responding, and I quickly changed the subject as I was talking to her. And I could see the expression on her face was like, oop, I should have mentioned that. You know, I shouldn't have mentioned that. And I hate that. I hate that I have to walk around on eggshells with family members. I hate, you know what I mean? I hate that I have to walk around on eggshells with people in the church when it comes to politics. It shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't. But anyway, my point is simply this. People. I went off on a tangent on that one, but I'm trying to express myself here. It hurts me, really, like in my heart, that we as black people continue to vote for a political party that's killing us. What have Democrats done for you that you need to vote for them every single time voting time comes? What? They give you food stamps and public and housing? Is that the reason why you're voting for them? Because if you feel like if you vote for a Republican, that they're going to take your food stamps from you and take your housing from you, that's a lie. That's not going to happen. Since when did that happen? When Trump was in office, did he take food stamps away from people? In 2016, you know what I'm talking about. The first time he's on it, did he take anybody's food stamps from them? Did he take anybody's welfare from them? Did he take their housing from them? No, he did not. And no Republican politician has ever done that. The welfare system has always still been intact when the Republicans were in office. So what are you even talking about? And this is this type of stuff that I'm talking about. So you can't say, well, if someone's living based on voting for Democrats based on that concept, then that's a misguided concept. It's wrong, it's false, it's not true. So I asked the question to black Americans, why are you voting for them? They were the party who wanted to uphold slavery. Let's go back to history. Something that the Democrats always accusing the Republicans of, which is a straight out lie. The Democrats were the original party of slavery. The origin of the KKK came from the Democrats. They supported it. They were the original party of Jim Crow laws, discrimination, and holding blacks back. And the great society that was created by Lyndon B. Johnson in the 1960s, even if the intention was to help black people, the results inevitably hurt black people in the worst ways possible. So I asked the question, why are you voting for them? Every time you vote for them, you catch hell. The Chicago people, you voted for them, and look at what you got. You got Brandon Johnson, who's worse than that other woman, Laura Lightfoot, Heavyfoot, Brownfoot, Bluefoot, whatever her name was. She's worse. He's worse. And you still, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And that's what makes me think that it's in our blood. It's in our DNA now. At one point it wasn't, but now we've absorbed the Democratic Party to the point where it's in our blood, it's in our DNA. We can't help but vote for them. And what I mean by that is we'll hoop and holler and complain about their policies throughout the 4 years. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I'm tired of these Democrats. And when it comes time to vote, I got to vote for Democrats. I will do what the Democrats say. We go right to the Democrats automatically. It's almost like we black out. And then when we come to, we like, man, what happened? Who did I vote for? Oh, I voted for the Democrats. How did that happen? You just blacked out. It's in you passed out. You got a split. You got multiple personality disorder or something. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what I wanted to say about that. When are we going to wake up as black people in this country? When are we going to wake up and stop voting for the very party that's been our detriment? The Democrats are the ones that push abortion on blacks the most. And abortion among blacks is higher than any ethnic group in this country. Look it up. It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making it up. Look it up. Blacks abort more babies than any other ethnic group in this country. And the Democrats push it on us all in the name of, what is it, health care or whatever. Control of your body. Come on, black people. Come on, black women. Come on, come on, come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? Wake up, man. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, black folks. Wake up. Wake up. I don't care what anybody say on there. If you're going to want to clown me and troll me, I'll just delete your posts. I don't care. We need to wait. I'm serious about this. Forget about entertainment, man. Black people in America need to wake up and stop voting for the Democratic Party, period. You saw how some of the blacks did come out and vote more for Trump this time around than they did before, and they helped put Trump in office. Now, in my opinion, I want blacks to stop voting for the Democrats, period. I believe the Democratic Party is an evil party. The party of the day, part of it is an evil party. They don't like you. They're the ones that don't like you. They're the ones hate you, and they're the ones that still see you as a slave. The only difference is you don't got no chains on your wrists. That's it. But you got chains in your mind. And the reason why I know you got chains and these black folks got chains in their minds are chained up, is because every time it comes time to vote, no matter how much they cry and poof and snot throughout the 4 years and complain, when it comes time to vote, click, 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 them chains click back on, and you do exactly what they want you to do. Vote for them. You vote for them, they get in office, no changes. No changes for the better. Unchanged my heart. Huh? Unchanged my heart. Unchanged my mind. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I just wanted to say that. I know I went off with a tantrum there, but it just hurts me, man. It just hurts me, man, the way we are as black people. But what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.